recently stumbled across an idea that stopped me in my tracks. It suggested that we take a look at what we are afraid of and realize it's only anticipation that frightens us. That nothing out there in the external world is frightening in itself. Even bankruptcy, illness, losing employment, healthcare costs, political turmoil, a friend who's in trouble. None of these things are intrinsically fearful. They are neutral. They are just events. It's only our thinking about how negatively these things might affect us that frightens us. It's anticipating the worst. I have a sticky note with a quote from A Course in Miracles on my monitor right in front of my face to remind me that I am affected only by my thoughts. It's a profound realization when I'm in a position to know this in my soul. It's incredible the power our minds have over us. It's also fabulous news. I can catch myself scaring myself and make a different choice. A perfect example of fear that likely touched each and every one of us is when COVID struck in 2020. Using David Hawkins' levels of consciousness that we've spoken of before, the United States was averaging a level between 400 and 450 in the autumn of 2019, the energies of meaning, reason, and understanding. In April 2020, we, along with the rest of the world, took a dive to 100, the level of fear. It was a worldwide storm of fear sweeping the masses along in its wake, unlike anything else we'd seen in our lifetimes. For months, the media focused almost exclusively on the coronavirus and its disruption to our way of life. Where did all that fear actually come from? The vast majority of us were not directly impacted by the virus during those first months. It was our anticipation about how the virus might affect us that frightened us. To repeat, it wasn't the virus that scared us. It was our thinking about how the virus might harm our lives that caused that intense fear. And because the whole world was in fear, and fear feeds on fear, most of us were sucked in to some degree. But as the months went on, we were desensitized. It became the new normal. The vast majority did not die or even get very sick, though by now we all know a few people severely impacted. But we all know people, or we fall ill, suffer financial hardship, and are distressed in myriad ways, coronavirus or not. We can thank COVID for it calling to our attention the devastating effects of placing fear center stage. So how do we banish the fear? Rather than ruminating on the potential perils of future events, number one, bring your attention to the present moment, not some imagined future. Are you safe? Are you well? Great. If you are in trouble, what can you do? What action can you take to improve this situation? And number two, focus on what you do want. What is the best outcome you can imagine rather than the worst? What are you grateful for? What is good and working in your life? Put your attention there. And number three, be of service. Being of service is where we get our meaning in life. Expressing our gifts raises our vibration and uplifts those around us. Fear is never a helpful or pertinent response. Fear is never justified. Fear is self-torture. Realize that fear lies only in anticipation, anticipating the worst. Because we are only affected by our thoughts, let's change those thoughts to shine that divine.